So it's been 4 or 5 years since I stopped smoking weed, and to be honest, it is one of the best decisions I have ever made. And I must say, nobody influenced me to start smoking weed. Nobody did any of that. I made my own choices. And the reason why is because ever since from when I was a child, and when I would see people, they'll be smoking cigarettes, I thought that it was cool to have smoke coming out of your mouth. I thought it was cool to blow smoke out of your mouth. I just thought those things was cool, and I couldn't wait to try it when I get older. And I remember the first time I had a cigarette, I don't even think, I don't remember how old I was, but I just smoked like, I just took 2 pills because I wanted to see how the smoke would look coming out of my mouth, and that was it. It's only when I became a teenager, probably 14 or 15, that's when I started smoking weed. And I'll never forget this one time when I was outside crying because I was just so stressed. I was so stressed. So I went inside, I walked inside, I came back out, I light one, and at the time I was listening to Mac Miller outside too. So I light one, and I just started feeling like this weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I started feeling real good. I was actually happy. I stopped crying. I was good. So weed was like a stress reliever for me. And when I realized that, it's like I started smoking even more. I remember this one time I was home alone, and I was listening to music, and I just smoked 4 back to back. And it felt really good, but at the same time, I don't think I ate anything, so I started feeling lightheaded as well. But most of the time, it made me feel good when I was high. Most of the time, I was just happy because, like I said, it was a stress reliever for me. There were times when I would be in school, and on lunch times, I would smoke with my friends. We would find somewhere and we would go smoke. There's a time when I was high in science class. After lunch, I went to class high, and I couldn't even concentrate. But I just know that I was happy. But then, eventually, after my first heartbreak at 18 or 19, I started reading books, and I learned about meditation and all those things. And I tried it because even though I like smoking weed, I started to think about the way I didn't want to depend on weed as a stress reliever. So I started looking for other ways so that I wouldn't have to use weed as much, or so that I could stop using weed completely. And that's when I learned about meditation. And the first time I meditated, I felt like I was floating. I felt so good when I was finished, and I just wanted to do it again and again and again. And I remember I challenged myself to meditate for 30 days. And after that 30 days, eventually I just didn't feel like smoking anymore. I felt like it didn't do anything for me, it just gave me anxiety. and meditation replaced smoking weed. And that is why I said that it is one of the best decisions that I have made, because I didn't like the way I had to depend on weed to make me feel good for a short period of time, and then when I'm off that high, I go back to feeling stress. I didn't want that anymore. So that is why I started looking for ways to stop smoking weed. And I have nothing against people that smoke weed. I have nothing against people that like that, because I was once like that, but I just know that it doesn't do anything for me anymore. All it does is give me anxiety. So that's the reason why I don't care for weed anymore.